Hey guys, Stephen Tony here, and I am back with a brand new video here. And for this one, I decided to go with another collection overview video. And I thought I would do a company that I am really getting into and liking, and it is Explosive Media. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, Explosive Media is a company from Germany. It was founded by Ulrich Bruckner, who was also one of the founders of Koch Media, which is now known as Play on Pictures. And Bruckner's new outfit does pretty much similar stuff to, Koch now Play on, in that they do classic cinema, genre cinema, Italian cinema, some French stuff as well, I think, and it's slowly becoming one of my new companies. It's ever growing for me. I have a couple of titles on pre-order from them now, but I figured for this video I would show you what I've already accumulated, and I'll start with my so far only non-Western title from them, and there's actually 3 more out. Two I still need to get, and one I have on pre-order. But the first is the Peplum classic, Romolo Erimo, aka Romulus and Remus, with Steve Reeves and Gordon Scott. This is actually based on I wouldn't say unknown mythology story, but basically in Roman mythology, it's believed the founders of Rome were these demigod twin brothers, Romulus and Remus, and that they were initially on the same page, but something happened and one turned on the other. Both Gordon Scott and Steve Reeves are great in this, especially Gordon Scott. He gave one hell of a performance in this, I thought. And Reeves, of course, showcased here why he was a slightly underrated talent as an actor. He wasn't just another strong man seeking out success from whatever he could. He really wanted to act, and I'm sure quite a few of the others did too. I mean, I think at least one or two, it was strictly the money, but hey, they're okay too and all that. I really enjoyed this. It's got the English audio, the Italian audio, so it fits everyone's boxes, who's ever interested in this stuff. It actually made me want to get back into the Peplums again, because I haven't seen them in so long. This one, and also Mario Bava's Hercules in the Center of the Earth. Just really good, really exceptional stuff here. Definitely a must watch. And on to the first of the Westerns I own. This is actually the first Explosive Media title I bought. Gringo. This is actually a Spanish Western, I believe, with Donnie Stephen and Peter Lee Lawrence. It's a Marchand family film, and the Marchand family, who were the big time Western magazine in Spain in the 60s and the first 2 or so years of the 70s. Their stuff's kind of hit or miss with me. I think they kind of go a bit more into melodrama than I would like, but still, like, they do still do like a very interesting plot lines, very interesting characters, and that one's no exception. Basically, Peter Lee Lawrence plays a guy named Johnny who, as a kid, witnessed his father, who was a traitor to the Union Army, be shot down for it by other soldiers, and it psychologically ruins him, and anytime he sees a soldier, he kills them, as a sort of revenge for his father. And the army, getting really scared of this, or, well, worried actually, I should say, although I'm sure some were scared, they choose to send out the unorthodox Lieutenant Garingo to bring in whoever the culprit is. And Stefan actually gave a really interesting performance in this, I thought. He's quite nuanced, actually, into the title character part. He's actually conflicted in the role because, he sees how Johnny's adopted family is with him. He sees how Johnny is with them. And he feels that this guy might not be as bad as he looks, but at the same time, he's doing all these bad things. He's not only killing soldiers, but he's also robbing army payrolls and banks in general, and he just, has to be stopped. But Garingo also realizes that there are people who are going to be hurt by this who shouldn't be hurt, and for the slight melodrama additions, this is actually quite good, I thought, actually. It's certainly, it's slightly heavier, I would say, but the characters are interesting and well developed. The story has enough action, to keep that flavor of the Italian style westerns alive, and it's definitely a worthwhile underrated gem. Definitely worth checking out, even if only once. Okay. And now on to the excellent media books / judgy books that Explosive Media has done. And the first one that is here is the Richard Harrison starring vehicle, I think the Hour of Vengeance or something it's called in Spanish. It's also called Gunfight at High Noon in the US and the UK. And that's actually pretty good. Falls, under that falls under a case of melodrama. Again, because it's a Marchand film, but the melodrama actually works in favor for it. So it's not bad actually. And basically, it's about this woman and her sons. They witness the husband slash father being killed by a bandit for the land, and it affects the sons in varied different ways. The son, played by Harrison, chooses to become a lawman. The second brother, played by Robert Hundar, he becomes a mercenary gun for hire, and the third son stays on to help the mom in the family farm. And Harrison's character ends up being helped out by a family friend played by Fernando Sancho, in a rare good guy part for him. And it's just basically the brothers starting to realize an important city of the... the brothers start to realize that a prominent citizen in this slowly forming city may in fact be responsible for the father's death, and each is heading about it in his own way, and of course they end up coming into conflict with each other over it. Again, a bit more melodramedy than anything else, excuse me. But it's not bad at all, actually. It could have been a bit better, I have to admit. And the ending could have been a bit more fleshed out, but still, it's worth a watch for the early era stuff. And Richard Harrison was good in pretty much any of these films he made. I know he had a kind of, I know he has a kind of love-hate style relationship towards them, but I thought pretty much anything I've seen him in, he was good at, and I'm sure he's, feeling a lot more pride for them now than maybe a few years ago, but, hey, hey, I thought it was still interesting and definitely worth a look to anyone who hasn't seen it yet. And of course, the set that started this fine trend from Explosive was the restoration and the release of Massacre Time. This existed primarily on bootlegs and gray area company discs, and this was the first official Blu-ray of it. I was very lucky to get my hands on a copy prior to it selling out, and it did sell out fairly quick, I remember. Frank Gonero, off his success in Django, George Hilton in his first ever Western, and of course who became a star in the genre in his own right. Yeah. I thought this was quite good, actually. Definitely was slow in spots, but was very engaging. None the less, like you have the ultra slyness of the drunkard brother who's not selling Franco Nero's character everything that's been going on. The crazy twisted son of the town boss, played by Nino Castelnuovo, in a very crazy well done part. Like this, I thought was fun all around. Again, like with the first two titles, goes a bit more for the drama, but it's very well balanced, I thought, actually. And again, just everything that Fulci does director-wise, and the script by Fernando Jaleo, it just works really well. It was really well made, I thought. The U.S. dub of this, there were two English dubs. One for here in the States and one for the English-speaking areas of Europe. And the U.S. dub is really atrocious, actually, on the same atrociousness as the Django dub. Whoever did it must have thought they weren't getting paid enough, or that it was just a bad idea in general, and it is just, oh God, it is just awful. Now, the European dub is actually not that bad. I have to say, I do definitely prefer the Italian, honestly, but that European English dub was quite good, actually, on par with the Italian version, actually. That's, of course, also came out in a box set from Era Video, but I am actually going to hang on to this because it has the uncut interview that George Hilton did for Freakorama prior to his health issues. It is on the Arrowed disc, but it's interspliced with footage from a new interview with Franco Nero. So the German edition has the uncut interview, and it also has George Hilton's interview from the Wild East disc. And again, both are subtitled in English, so that's why I'm actually keeping this. And also, I love the cover. That cover just, screams Western. It is great. I love it. Okay. And my second favorite cover is for My God Forgive You, I Won't, starring Giorgio Arterson. This is a really good revenge western. Excuse me. It's basically about this guy whose family is not totally indebted to, but they do owe some money to this guy who they rented land from for their ranch, and the guy ends up wanting the family off it, so he hires this bandit and his goons to basically shoot up the place, and the father and sister are caught in the crossfire and killed, and the eldest son vows to avenge them. Again, I really enjoyed this one. You know, it's a good old fashioned action yarn. You know, a good revenge plot. And Artisan gets top points for me for actually shedding tears when he finds his father and sister killed. I thought that was like really impressive for an actor to do, because I know a lot of actors, you know, aren't about crying on camera, and that Artisan did just, you know, makes him a really good actor, in my opinion. Like that, you know, a bit anyway. Yeah, but like, you know, it's it's good. You know, it's got a good performance from Pedro Sanchez as Artisan's helper. Yeah, though, it is just really good. It's mainly done as segmental because basically Artisan's character hunts down the bad guys one by one, but it's done in a very interesting and exciting way, so it's never boring in the least. You know, it works in the film's favor quite a bit, and in a short but interesting part is Peter Martell as the head bad guy's brother, who's a drunkard, I think, in this one. It's a shame, because I have seen him in a few other roles, and he was really talented. It's just like, you know, a shame he had the wanderlust, you know, and couldn't stick to acting as long as he probably should have. But what we have of him is still pretty good. Like, yeah. And the climax shootout in this is very well done, very well photographed, and is just like, it's amazing for anyone who's fans of inventive final gunfights. That's certainly in the top 10 or top 5 even. Let's see, and oh yeah, and that's oh shoot, what is his name? Anthony Gidra. He was the first Serbian Yugoslavic actor to be popular in Italy in the 60s. I think it was, although he had a more prominent career in his home nation later on. He was great as the head baddie in this. Normally he played the like a hero or any hero, but he was great in this change of pace part, I thought. Yeah, just a really good, somewhat underrated film, I think. Definitely is in need of a re-appreciation and re-evaluation, I think. A must pick up for any fan of the genre. Okay, now, oh yeah, and most of these I have watched. That's one I actually still need to, and that is, of course, Arizona Colt, the third and final pairing of Juliana Gemma and Fernando Sancho, who does play the bad guy here. Basically, Gemma is this unfeeling gunfighter who ends up being broken out of jail by Sancho's character. He actually blows a wall in the prison, from what I remember reading, and he lets out all the prisoners, asking them to join his crew of bandits, and Gemma's guy refuses, and he ends up riding into this town, and he ends up having to save the town, and the beautiful lady saloon owner, played by Corinne Marchand from Sancho and his Goonies. And of course, Gemma has his sidekick in Roberto Carmedal as well. Yeah, I still need to see this, but I'm sure it'll be a blast. A very fun time. Gemma is pretty much the same guy he is in. He is in the Ringo films. He's just a bit more emotionally unattached at first, I believe. But yeah, I'm quite interested in checking this out eventually. I'm sure it'll be part of my Specvumberfest viewing in the fall. So yeah. So yeah, like, let's see, there was that one. And here we have Dead Men Don't Count. This is another Marchand family film. And this one is actually one of my favorites of like the last year and a half or so. So I thought the Marchands did a really good job with this one. It's not a comedy, but it is more lighthearted than I think we're probably used to, but it does have the more dramatic moments when they count. There's not really much melodrama in this, so it's more of a straight actioner with something of a mystery wrapped in for a good measure. Yeah, it reunites Stefan and Mark Damon, who did Train to Durango, which I still have to see. But basically, like, they play brothers in this, and they're freelance bounty hunters. And at the start, they think they have a score, but it turns out to be, well, nothing, unfortunately. And they somehow end up in jail, like, overnight. And this lady who at the start of the film helps her bad guy lover kill her husband. She thinks somehow that Damon is her son, who she gave up for adoption years ago, and is back to avenge his father. So it's pretty much a guessing game of, is that true, or is it something wholly other? I thought this was quite fun, honestly. It did drag a little in the middle, but it was not, boring at all otherwise. Likewise, a very nice change of pace from the Marchand family, and of course, a more light-hearted Western is always welcomed. Not that like everyone made prior to it was totally grim and dark, but they were certainly edgy. And it sports a pretty good cast too. There's not only Stefan and Damon, but there's Pierre Lully, like Rafe Balthazar, Lois and Dooney, just a plethora of familiar faces in the genre. And a really fun time. I give this one a high up recommendation. It is really worth anyone who's a fan of the genre's time to see it. It's a lot of fun. And let's see, I'm nearing the end here, and the second to last one is El Desperado, the first film starring Andrea Giordana, who I think in the U.S. and maybe the UK prints was called Chip Corman. This one I actually thought was middle of the road. It's still quite good. Just not the same thing I was probably expecting from a lot of the other stuff I've seen. It's still good though. It's still good. It's just different. The plot is a bit more keen to a film noir because Giordana looks a bit like the Italian John Garfield, just the sort of expressions he would have on his face a lot of the time in the films he made. He is basically a thief and an outlaw who, after being saved by his friend from being hung, he comes across this dying Confederate soldier, and the soldier tells him in his madness that him and his father have that's money buried near their home that they're planning on using to open up a ranch. And he basically steals this soldier's identity, tries to pretend to be the son, only to get to the town and find that the father's blind and is being cared for by an orphaned woman. And it soon turns into him having this crisis of conscience, and basically trying to figure out if he wants to still go through with the whole thing or just leave well enough alone. And that decision ends up being made for him by this old friend of his who has set up a new crew of grifters, although she too, and yes, it's a lady, and she too realizes the bad idea it's gonna end up being. So, yeah, a bit more middle of the road for me, but it's still a pretty decent film. Definitely worth a watch, especially for the performance of Piero Lulli. Yes, he's in this one too. He plays the blind father, and it's a very good, rare, good guy part for him. I was actually quite impressed by him as a loving father character. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. I'm gonna go, even if it ends up not being your cup of tea. It's still a pretty interesting film, I think. And it actually has a pretty good theme song to it as well. Okay, and the final one is actually my all-time favorite of this pile, and that is Hamlet, the Italian take on Hamlet. yeah, like this is essential viewing. Essential viewing. You know, it's got all of the right elements to it: action, intrigue, suspense, and very interesting characters to it. And I actually thought Giordano was better in this one than in El Desperado, to be honest. Basically, he plays the Hamlet part. He comes back from the Civil War and learns that his father has been purportedly murdered by a Mexican bandit named Santana, and that his uncle avenged his father by killing the bandit, but soon, and not all is what it seems, and the character soon begins to suspect his uncle isn't telling the whole truth of the matter, and he teams up with his family's friend to find out what actually happened. I knew about this for a long while. Always wanted to see it because I am as much a Shakespeare fan as I am a film fan, and I was really curious to see how they would, handle Hamlet in the Old West, and I was not disappointed at all. Giordana does a really good job as the Hamlet character. He certainly doesn't go into the madness of Hamlet, but he is very committed as the character is. And of course, Horst Frank is great as the bad guy in Claude, aka Claudius. He was the second major bad guy next to Klaus Kinski, and I actually thought it was a shame that they didn't pair up Horst Frank and Klaus Kinski in a film like playing like evil psycho brothers or something like that. Would have been a great bad guy duo, and and of course Gilbert Gilbert Roland played a great friend to the hero in Horace. He's always good, Gilbert Roland. And I thought Enzo G. Castellari stayed fairly true to Shakespeare's work. Of course, he had to tone down some of the story, and also change up some of the characters, but it is still a very good film, still a must-watch, and still a very essential viewing of the genre. I just loved everything about this one. It is really good fun. One I think if genre fans haven't seen yet, should see. And that is it for this overview. I do apologize. I was supposed to have that up like last week, but our laptop here is unfortunately on the fritz, and I'm not too sure how long it'll last, and I hope I can actually have it up this week, because I really do want to try to keep as much content going on here as I can. So hopefully I won't have any problems uploading it tonight. So again, thanks for excuse me, sorry about this, guys. Again, thanks to anyone who's watching. I hope y'all liked this one. If there's any explosive saddles I'm missing, or the better versions of some other films, just let I know in the comments. I already have a 2 on pre-order. I still need to get a couple more of the westerns, and there's actually one on set to be released in July, I think. I'll definitely be pre-ordering that one. So as a final, please like, subscribe, and comment. And thanks to everyone who's watching. Thanks to everyone who's been supportive. And I'll talk to y'all soon.